Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. This is United Daily Live and we are live with breaking news coming out of Germany. Now they are just reports, obviously it's not official, but they are fairly reliable reports when you consider Germany usually get things right in regards to German. And we are hearing of a bid for Jadon Sancho from Manchester United, their first official bid for the player. Now we heard United were destined to make a bid for one of these players this week, for Jadon Sancho this week rather, and now we're hearing this news has come through, but the bid has been knocked back by Dortmund, saying the player is not for sale. Now, will Manchester United be going back in with another bid or not? Will this be the end of the story? We're also hearing news today that Ousmane Dembele is linked with a move to Manchester United, although Fabrizio Romano and others have rubbished that news. Like today, Bohafsi on the Stretford Paddock Tier 1 podcast said Ousmane Dembele was not an option for Manchester United, and Ousmane Dembele is someone that he knows well, wants to stay at Barcelona and fight for a spot in the team. So that Dembele rumour, there may be nothing in it, or is there? RAS in Spain right in to Ousmane Dembele. We'll be also looking at those reports in relation to that, and we have got plenty coming up for you here in this report today on AdamMcKola TV, including loads coming through on Alex Tell's Spanish reports linking United to Dembele, obviously Edison Cavani being linked with a move today as well, and of course this news of a bid from Manchester United for Jadon Sancho. So we'll be having a look at all of those things right about now, and this is what we're hearing today. So the Times have said they expect Manchester United to make another bid in the next couple of days, and according to those with knowledge of the deal and negotiations, Manchester United and Dortmund Sancho, there's a 50-50 chance of this deal happening. Now we've heard from Sky Sports and Sky Germany that Manchester United have made their first official bid for the player, which was rejected by Borussia Dortmund. The offer was 80 million euros plus 20 million euros in bonuses. That comes up to around 92 million pounds there. Obviously 16 million off, or 20 million euros off the amount that Borussia Dortmund wanted by August the 10th, which was originally reported. We heard Dortmund wanted 120 million euros, 108 million pounds, and United have gone in at around 92 million pounds with their first official offer. Now, if this was our first official offer a month ago, I'd be feeling quite confident that we're going to go back in, renegotiate, and get this deal done, because you're not far off what they want. You know, if you imagine to go to 100 million euros plus 20 million euros, they probably take it, or 90 plus 30, they probably take it. But the fact that we've got, how many days remaining of the transfer window? 6 days remaining of the transfer window, obviously means that it's less likely to happen. So I can understand, you know, some pessimism over this Jadon Sancho deal happening. But what has added fuel to the fire today, that although we're hearing that this bid has been knocked back, 100 million euro bid, 80 plus 20 million euros in add-ons, despite the fact we're hearing that this bid has been knocked back from Sky Germany and therefore Sky Sports, who have got onto their colleagues in Sky Germany, because it has been knocked back, why isn't Jadon Sancho with the Dortmund squad then? He's been left out of the Dortmund squad today. They're saying it's a respiratory illness, but he hasn't got coronavirus. So he's tested negative for coronavirus, but they're saying he's got an illness. A little bit sus, considering he played at the weekend as well. But it could be true. Maybe I'm just using that to fuel my optimism of a deal happening. But we've got all these little layers to this potential transfer. The bid being rejected, the player not being involved with the Dortmund squad for the Super Cup, which is a massive game, and obviously 5-6 days being left of the transfer window. We've not got long left to go, and this is well and truly going to heat up. I'm going to play football in a bit, and I was thinking I'm going to go play football and something's going to happen. But thankfully, it happened just before I left. Louis Lives 98, or Louis Lives 98, whichever one it is, Louis Lives, I imagine. He says, with a super chat, and get your super chats in, get subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. We'll be live again at 10:30 PM UK time today for United Daily Live. We're here every single day for that. Louis Lives says, of course it was rejected playing with Dortmund for months and dragged them into bad media. I'm surprised the price wasn't brought up, and I'm not surprised by that. I mean, I'm surprised by that as well. I imagine if they were to sit down and negotiate with the club, they'd probably ask for a little bit more in the hope that United would meet them at the price that they eventually would. United haven't been doing negotiations the easy way, have they? We haven't been doing negotiations the easy way at all. And now with 6 days left of this transfer window, our first official bid has been knocked back of €100 million. Now, there could also be a number of reasons why Manchester United have done this. And I was listening to Simon Jordan the other day. It's a shame he does a show with Jim White because I can't stand Jim White, but I don't mind Simon Jordan. Simon Jordan, whether you disagree with him or not on things, I don't agree with him on everything, but whether you do or not, he always enhances the debate he says, and he always makes you think you've learned something when you listen to him. And he come out and said the same thing that I've been thinking. United are going to make a bid in the hope that Jadon Sancho kicks up a fuss and says, I want out of here, you have to let me go, and he forces them to take a bid elsewhere. That's what we're looking at now. I think United have made this bid knowing that Borussia Dortmund aren't going to fall for it. They aren't going to take this bid, and then eventually Jadon Sancho will try and force that move. But surely, if Jadon Sancho was going to try and force a move, he would have already done it by now. But once a €100 million bid goes in, and if that's rejected, maybe the player will feel, actually, boys, maybe you should have took that €100 million because you know that I don't want to be here. So this is what we're hearing right now today, that Manchester United have had a bid rejected for Jadon Sancho of €100 million. Let us know what you guys are thinking about this in those comments below. Cam Waters is in the comments. Can't stand Cam, I ever told you that. He's saying, not going to lie, I think it's €120 million you need to pay, so 100 ain't cutting it. And I've got to agree as well that I do think United have to actually get that deal up to what Borussia Dortmund want. Because obviously, if they're wanting €120 million and you're going in at 100, they're not going to take it. Get those add-ons up. I imagine if they do take a deal, United will probably end up paying 100 million plus €20 million. I think if you guarantee them 100 million, it'd be a lot more difficult to walk away from that, wouldn't it? So I imagine United probably will go back in with another bid, but I'm not that confident about it. Now, in relation to Ousmane Dembele, I see a few of you asking about Ousmane Dembele in the comments below. In relation to Ousmane Dembele, we heard that Manchester United from AS had made a bid, and so let me find the reports from AS. So we heard from AS in Spain that Ousmane Dembele is very close to joining Manchester United, which would give Barcelona the funds to buy Depay. Former Manchester United player, looks like he could be going to Barcelona. Barcelona would accept an offer between 50 and 60 million euros for Ousmane Dembele. And that we heard this news and this report came out just before we heard the report of a bid being back for Jadon Sancho. And then further to those reports from AS, Mundo Deportivo have then gone out and said Ousmane Dembele's camp have confirmed the reports of him being close to joining United, and a deal would be closed for around 75 million euros, including bonuses. United contacted Barcelona and Dembele's camp after failing in their bid to sign Jadon Sancho. Said no initially, but economic needs changed that. Ronald Koeman said yes. Ed Woodward is the one who contacted Barcelona and Dembele's camp. They've been trying to convince Dembele for some time as he wanted to stay at Barcelona. United have succeeded in the end. Ronald Koeman's opinion has been decisive for Ousmane Dembele as he considers him due to the emergence of Ansu Fati and players like Francisco Trincao and Pedri. Thanks to United Report for getting those Mundo Deportivo quotes out there. The AS quotes as well that a deal for Ousmane Dembele were rubbish. We heard Mohamed Bouhafsi on the Stretford Paddock Tier 1 podcast, cheeky little plug for that, saying that it wasn't happening. We've heard Fabrizio Romano in the last couple of days, I think it was about 4 or 5 days ago, say United's move for Dembele was a non-starter. He said Dembele doesn't want to leave Barcelona. He's not an option for Juventus or Manchester United, and Douglas at the moment is not part of any deal. But he said Dembele does not want to leave Barcelona. Now, he didn't say, you know, United didn't want him. He said he wasn't an option because Dembele didn't want to leave. Now, the interesting thing about these Mundo Deportivo reports are they say that Dembele was pretty much told, your future's not here at Barcelona. Now, that's something that could make a player think, well, actually, maybe I'll leave and go and play elsewhere. I've got a few of my international teammates at Old Trafford. Maybe I'll go there. But the thing is, to be believing Mundo Deportivo and to be believing AS is dangerous ground. So I'm not going to read too much into that yet. Maybe these reports are coming out because United are in contact with them. And this is kind of something again which could possibly force Jadon Sancho into demanding or asking for a move. I think that's the main reason for United's bid at the moment. I don't think they expected that to get accepted, and I think it's to try and force Jadon Sancho either publicly or behind closed doors to try and get that move to Manchester United. Kind of all over to him now, isn't it? United can keep bidding, but I think if the player doesn't really give any signs to Dortmund that he wants to leave, a transfer request or whatever, then I don't think it happens. I think he's kind of got to try and force that his end. But links now to Dembele. As we obviously hear, this bid has been knocked back for Jadon Sancho. Sky Germany saying that bid has been rejected. So we move on from that to then these Dembele reports. And we also heard earlier United were interested in Cavani. Now this is interesting because if Manchester United, let's say, weren't going to get Jadon Sancho, you could possibly see United using that funds to go for Dembele, who's a cheaper option at 60-70 million euros. Although with his injury record, I suppose I'd probably give that one a miss. But you know, it's at 50 million euros, it's a decent risk, I think, for someone that has shown his ability in the past. But nevertheless, you know, everyone knows I want Jadon Sancho. Now, we heard earlier as well from the Daily Mail that Luka Jovic has been offered around to a number of clubs, including Manchester United, the striker from Real Madrid, and also Cavani had been offered to Manchester United. Di Marzio also said United will make an attempt to sign one of Edinson Cavani or Luka Jovic on loan this week. Now, there have been a number of reports that have said United are looking for 3 players. A right winger, Sancho, for example. A left back, Alex Telles, for example. And a third, no one really knew what that was. Maybe, could it be a striker in the form of Edinson Cavani or Luka Jovic or someone else? I mean, Odion Ighalo wasn't on the bench in the last game for Manchester United. Was that an injury? Was that an issue between, you know, maybe Oli doesn't fancy him anymore? Who knows? But the loan deal for Luka Jovic or Edinson Cavani on a free transfer, United may be interested in that. For me, I feel like the ship's probably sailed with Cavani. Luka Jovic, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get any of those strikers in at Man United. The Ousmane Dembele story, my gut feeling is it's nothing. Otherwise, I'd be going a lot bigger on it, as you can imagine. If United had agreed a fee for Ousmane Dembele, I'd imagine more people than AS and Mundo Deportivo would be saying it. But nevertheless, we are hearing Manchester United have bid for Jadon Sancho, and it has been rejected. 100 million euros. Now, Paul Hurst, via Man United Zone, has said Sancho expects to make another bid for him in the next days. 50-50 chance deal for Sancho will happen. Dortmund have told United they will be willing to accept part of the fee in instalments. So that come from Paul Hurst. So fingers crossed, United are going to go in with another bid sometime soon, because I want to see Jadon Sancho in a Manchester United shirt, and I'm sure all you guys want to see Jadon Sancho in a Manchester United shirt as well. What have I missed, said David? Sky Germany and Sky Sports News are reporting Manchester United have had a bid of 80 million plus 20 million euros in add-ons for Jadon Sancho rejected. So that bid has been knocked back, £92 million. Remember, they want 120 million euros £108 million in total. I think it's going to go down to United being willing to pay 100 million up front, in 100 million euros up front, actually 20 million in add-ons. So this one's going to drag on and on and on. In terms of Alex Telles, let's see what the latest is on him at the moment, because we've heard a lot on this one, but it does feel like this one's going to edge closer. BBC Sport an hour ago posted that Manchester United are in talks with Porto over a deal for Brazilian fullback Alex Telles. United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to strengthen his options on the left and feels the 27-year-old will be a useful addition. Porto want 18 million for Telles, who has 1 year left in his contract and could be signed on a pre-contract in January. Solskjaer is set to make a number of changes to his lineup for Wednesday's EFL Cup game. The game comes against the backdrop of a continued search for new players, with Dortmund midfielder Sancho remaining at the top of the list. But obviously it says Manchester United in negotiations, and when BBC say that, you usually know it's definitely true. We've also heard consistently that Porto won 18 million euros for him, and United had bid or 20 million euros, 18 million pounds, and United had bid 12 million pounds for him. I imagine we'll eventually settle on 15 million pound bid or something like that, 18 million euros. And get him in the end. I'm not too worried about that Alex Telles deal. It looks like one that's going to happen. It looks like United are just waiting for them to sweat on not getting a fee the closer we get to a window, and maybe taking our first bid or something close to it with a few add-ons on. That's what I can imagine United doing, just making him sweat a little bit or making them sweat a little bit, because in January, in 3 months, you can discuss a free transfer elsewhere, and I'm sure they won't want to lose him on a free. So you have that. In regards to Alex Telles, I think that one will happen. As for Jadon Sancho, I'm obviously less confident than I was at one point in this window. I was like 90% sure he's going to become a United player. Now I'm about 50-60% sure he's going to be a United player. But it's good to see that our first official bid has gone in early this week. I was fearing we'd probably leave it late. Now I know we've left it generally late in the transfer window, but with just a week to go, we need to get moving even quicker. And Jadon Sancho, if he doesn't sign for United, I think there'll be riots. And 100 million euros being rejected means that we'll probably not bidding the full amount for him. But that's just me being positive. As Kush says in the comments, over 1,000 watching and only 100 odd likes. Get hitting that like button right now. Get subscribing if you're not already subscribed to AdamMcKola TV too, because we will be back later at 10:30 PM UK time with more transfer news. But the latest news right now on all things Manchester, Jadon Sancho, is United have had a bid of 100 million euros, which is 80 million up front plus 20 million euros in add-ons, by Dortmund, and hopefully they'll be going back in with another bid in the next couple of days, according to the Times. Of course, there's links with Alex Telles as well. There's links with Ousmane Dembele, links with Edinson Cavani, and you can hear about all those things if you've missed them just by rewinding this show. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. I will. Whoa! What happened here then? When did that happen? Right, let me fix this. Shit. Right, sorry about that. Not sure what happened. I opened up and that absolutely shagged itself, but it was fine on my tablet. Don't get it. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're keeping it you're liking, commenting, sharing, and of course subscribing. Rejoy says, would you be happy with Saar over Sancho with the super chat? I think he's a good alternative. He's one of the better alternatives that I have seen. And I wouldn't be totally against signing him. I think he's a good young player. But I want Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. That's for sure. I definitely want Jadon Sancho at Man United. So, yeah, we definitely get him. When did the screen actually mess up? Oh, okay, it wasn't that long ago. So we didn't go mental for ages. Anyway, back at 10:30. See you in a bit.